those people who in charge for this mixer. So we're not gonna have very much conflicts when we work together. Okay. You guys can go up to the YouTube and do research and learn from that, and you may get more information. But don't forget about this mixer is set up in this room, and there will be different feedback from the corner, and from the wall, and from the materials of the wall. So we set up depend on the room. It's not set up depend on the technical we teach on the YouTube. So sometimes it doesn't make sense with our location. Please remember that. And then need to make the discussion and see how it works for our church. Okay, so something that we need to admire before we go deeper. Okay, so this one is, we call it fader. We got the 32 lines, and we call the input 1 to 16, input 17 to 32. So 1 to 16 is going to be this. Don't forget to turn into input 1 to 16. And the second is going to be input 17 to 32. So 1 to 16 we assign for microphone only. And you will see the collars and the later here for the reassign. And you try to learn that later. Okay. So when you want to move to the second channel, it's going to be input 17 to 32 is for the instruments. So you see normally I set up the drum is going to be the last one. So you have to learn the position of instrument on the mixer. For what? For example, like something happened, you recognize which instrument they got problem, and you're gonna catch up right away on the right position. It doesn't have to be like looking for. So that is the first thing you have to learn about the fader and the input, the name, the position of the instruments. Any questions so far? The third one is going to be aux in or USB. Aux in, they're going to use here for the computer. They can use here or they can use over there, but this one is going to be for computer. Okay, so never mind, you guys can find out later, but we're going to set up for you. So like Huy and Tu going to set up aux in. And aux in is normally for computer or the extra phone or music, whatever. And the USB R, left, right is gonna be here when you record. And this one is gonna be volume for the record, input, that's one. And even output is gonna be play when you play back. Okay, the last one is bus master. Bus master, we got a 16 bus, and normally this digital mixer, the bus 15 and 16 is going to be the main output. The main output is for the left and right. We say that the output for FOH, that's the front of house for the congregation. So normally 15 and 16, and the rest they put in like the bass. Subwoofer, speaker, band monitor speaker or singer monitor speaker. So that you guys can research later. Okay, so this one, the bus master. The bus master is here and could be here as well. So the bus master from 1 to 16, it could be 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 16. Everything is up here. Okay, so some of the a general introduction for you to understand what is going to appear from channel 1 to channel 16 for first layer, and second layer is going to be 17 to 32. The third one is for computer, So they say, oh, I need small sound for computer. You have to turn it here, and then which one aside for the computer, you use the fader to put it up. Okay, so this one the master, but this one is gonna be, don't touch this one, because they will adjust adjust the level for the monitor. It's good enough for each location. So you don't touch this one. You guys don't touch this one. Okay. Every input, every line you want to control it, you have to select. For example, like Buffett microphone, you select one, you will control it. You will see what happened here for the control. Otherwise, if you select here and you want to control number one, it doesn't affect. So every single channel or line in, you have to select if you want to control that one. You got it? Okay, so go up to here. For example, like the first microphone, I am talking about this one. Okay, so this one is my microphone. I'm gonna mute all. This one, if I mute it, that is no sound. So normally, if the phone is not being used, then we have to mute. You know, just now we got the status from the microphone. It came from the microphone next to the drum. And you see the microphone is not pointed to the drummer, but it's pointed to this area. So it's got a conflict between the frequency, the signal, the wave signal of the sound when they go. So it makes some status. That's why something that we will research later more about the way of the sound when it goes. Okay, so this one, when I want to turn it on, I have to make sure that I'm unmute and then go to the fader. Normally, last week I already controlled with this fader, so I know that how much is the level. Then I just unmute. Then yeah, it's no need to adjust. But just in case, that's gonna be boom. What I do is unmute like this. I use this hand to off it, and then unmute and I put it back. And if no feedback, that should be good. You see, so that becomes your habit when you control the sound. To avoid like you turn on, that is gonna be boom. It's not good. It's not because they turn on their instrument too loud, and it's our responsibility. We have to control the sound. Okay. Okay, go up here. Every single of the input or instrument or microphone, the gain should be at 12 o'clock. Okay, there will be more different teaching from the YouTube and whoever, They may say that this one is low down. But what I tell you, when you put it in at 12 o'clock, the sound is the good one. And then from that, if you want to be louder, you raise up, you see different. Okay? But less than that, you lose the power or the character of the sound. So better, just put right in the middle. And then from that. Okay, so how to tune the gain? When you tune the gain, you try to turn it louder, and you can feel the feedback. It's almost the feedback. Then I'm gonna put it back. And when I turn it back, I will think about another microphone. If I put it louder, it's gonna conflict with the signal of this microphone. So that's why I just put at the 12 o'clock. Okay, so I'm done with the gain. Any questions so far for the gain?
Can you explain what's the difference between the gain and the volume of the fader? Because you raise the fader, it's also louder. You raise the gain up, it's also louder. So what's the difference?
Okay. The different, okay, I don't want to go deeper, but let's say easily. The fader is support for the gain. Okay. 1, 2. The fader is support for the gains. You turn on the gain, but you not turn on the fader. It's no sound at all. But that will be the signal for you to recognize how the level is. You see the signal here. But if you turn on the fader, you off the gain, it's nothing. So the gain is the one to raise up the voice or the instrument that you want it to be. And after you adjust the gain, then you use the fader to raise up. That's why, okay, you can go up to the YouTube and learn more about the difference. I believe so. But don't make it too deep, so they may confuse it. Okay. So what I do, before I adjust the gain, I just low down the fader. And then I make it 12 o'clock. Okay. So I make it 12 o'clock, I will see the signal here. Mm-hmm. It's not very loud, it's good enough, and it's for sure that the sound will be it. Then I leave up the faders. Yeah, raise up the fader. Okay. You got it?
What level you know that the sound will be broken? It's
It depends on the room.
The red one when they have.
Oh, not really. Depend on the room.
Okay.
It's not depend on this one, because depend on the room. That's why when normally when I tune up the room, I gotta have my tune to see that how much decibel of the low and high. So I'm gonna listen to the sound and I recognize the feedback. I'm not gonna get it go higher. So that depends on the room. Unless you build the room for the sound, and then it will be the design for the room to make the soundproof, or to make how the roof is. This one is not the good design for the live music, because when the sounds go up, it's gonna it's nó như âm thanh vòm vậy đó, và the corner, this corner is gonna make the stutters. When you hear or you mirrors on the sound, you will see it's a lot of stutters, but it's not a big deal. So that is for the professional room. They when they think about they search about the sound. Okay, let's go back here. This one is 48 volt. So the 48 volt is the power source. For those microphones we call like condenser. So condenser, they cannot connect direct to the sound system, but they need the power resource. And the power resource we call like phantom power. We say 48. So those people who do on the sound system, you have to recognize, for example, Shure, microphone Shure brand. They have SM58 or SM57 or SM Beta 57.8. So SM58 is no phantom, no need to turn it on. But the Beta 57 or 57.8 is need the phantom. So you see, if in case that the signal is here is on, and you already put up the fader but it's no signal, the first thing you need to check that microphone is the condenser or dynamic. That's very important. So some of the people they didn't know, so they bought it, and then they returned it. They asked them why it doesn't work, and because of the 48 volt phantom. So you see which one is the dynamic. You turn it on, it's no signal. It's gonna be opposite way. Okay, you guys clear? So most of the microphone in the studio, that is a condenser, and the microphone for that one is also condenser. Right?
Yeah, condenser.
Yeah. So you see some of the microphone it's not look like usual. It's like straight. That's microphone for this one. This one is for instrument. It's not for speaking. Yeah. So this one is for talking or preaching and speaking. But mostly this one SM58 or whatever it is. This one is what?
BG.
BG81. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also for instrument is better than. So for instrument the signal is gonna be lower. That's why they got some of the device. They got like a line in or microphone. And if microphone that you can get for the microphone, the line in is for the instrument. That's what the difference. Okay, so this one. Anything else? Or any question? If not, then we go to the frequency. The frequency is low cut. Okay, let's look at this one. Every microphone or every instrument, they got the low frequency. You know, for example, like my sound is also low frequency there. You see, right? And the guitar, when you play the above 3 strings, they got a low frequency as well. And the bass guitar, the 4 bass, full bass, that we very much low frequency. On the keyboard, left hand, you play the octave, it's like the second or third octave. That's a lot of frequency because that is gonna be played for bass, and the right hand is for chord or for beating up or makeup, whatever. So the left hand of the piano is also is a low frequency. What else? The keyboard, the string, or the violin, cello, they also got low frequency. The drum is low as well on the kick, and every tom or snare, they also got low frequency. So that's why my suggestion is every single vocal or a microphone or instrument, we need to low cut. And then after we low cut, we will see which one is need more low frequency. And then we're gonna, verify it's good enough, it's not over bass. You guys got it? So what I'm gonna low is, for example, like my microphone here. You see that? We got this one. If you want to adjust or control any area, you have to go to view. They're gonna turn you to the screen that you want to adjust. This one as well, this one as well, this one as well. But I'm talking about this one. So you see, when I show you this one, we got the low frequency. If you press low cut on, that's gonna cut the low frequency on the surface of an equalizer. And then when you turn, that's gonna, this one it cut more, and this one give more bass.
What's happening when it's cutting?
You cut, okay. Here.
Can you give an
Okay.
example? Let someone
Okay.
play the piano, right?
No, the sound here, you will see. Okay, so when I'm talking like this,
Mm-hmm.
you will see above everything is got the low one. But when I cut it, hello, more high, it's clear. It's clear. This one is clear, you see. So it's something that is really just a little, but every single little things is combined together. It's gonna make the feedback.
So when you cut it, you don't allow it to go through, right?
Yeah, we'll cut it, like the low cut.
So
You
don't allow
set
it to
the
come out.
level, like from
Basically, if it's not
Okay.
loud enough, it doesn't.
Let I go deeper into low cut. Okay. So when you think about low cut, that would be depend on the low frequency of each instrument or each character of the voice. For example, like just now, these guys, when they sing,
Really low.
no. Uh, It seems like low, but I have to turn off because their low is not good enough as yours. Your low is very much lower, but their low is like because bể giọng á, cho nên it's not really low. Even you seems like low, yeah. So that's why I offer, but your voice I have to cut it off. So depend on this one is like cái kinh nghiệm experience. When we do and we see which character of the voice needs to be raised up the low. Okay. Anyway, so you guys can. The more you do, the more you learn. So it's not a big deal. Okay, go back here. For example, like you see the low frequency, right? So mostly when I make it, I'm gonna make right to the end of number 20. So this one is the basic one. I'm gonna cut completely low. And then this one is for the instrument. But if the vocal, some of the people like your voice, I cut a little bit more. So a little bit more, you will see the frequency. It's gonna be 45. Or even too low, I'm gonna make it like 60. But for the girl, I'm gonna make it like 35 or 40. So depend on the character of the voice. And this one is I cannot explain to you, clearly. It's your homework. It's your homework when you do it. When you do it, you will learn. Okay. Okay. So this one is talking about a low frequency, low cut. So my suggestion is most of the instrument is need to be low cut to make it appear. And then it's getting more clear than you see, for example, the bass. They need more bass because it's gonna be the soul of the band. It's the foundation for the band. So the bass. And the bass, we need to adjust on the amplifier. They have the separately amplifier. That have to be it's not to be It depends on, and the people who play the bass have to know how to adjust for the bass. Okay. So later I'm gonna go deeper into the equalizer, and then we see every instrument how we control. Okay, low cut is done, right? This one is compression. Okay, look at this. If you want to turn on compression, you have to press this one. This one is not effect, but you have to turn it on. So the meaning of the compressor is to raise the voice up and to compress the voice, the level of the overload. You got it? I have to repeat again. Raise the voice up to be stronger and louder a little bit, but you can adjust for the limitation of the overload. So you will see here, when I speak louder, so it's gonna be up to here and cannot be overload. But if I make like this, louder, it's gonna be up to here. And if I raise my voice louder again, you see it's feedback. But if I limit it, that's one. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even I speak louder, it's gonna cut off.
Wherever you raise it.
This one? Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see? So if got feedback it's because of the room. It's not this one. So that's why many people they don't know how to use the compressor. Most of the people who do in the recording studio, they will understand how the compressor is. So in the live system before in an analog, they have to separate the compressor. And the compressor is gonna cost you like $1,000 US. Avalon compressor is one of the best ones. So that is the way we use the compression. Okay, so normally compression, I'm gonna make it. You will see the number. It's gonna be 12, minor 12 to 13. You will see the number here as maybe like minus 6 or minus 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one is the safe position. Okay, so most of the instrument and the microphone is need the compressor to raise the voice up. Okay, so when you go to the stadium and different area, the compressor is gonna be controlled different. But because of the small location, so we don't have to research much about the compressor. That's the way we do. Okay. Any questions so far for the compression?
No.
You're so good, man. No question. Wow, amazing. Okay, sorry. Okay, here is the threshold. So what's the meaning of threshold? It's a gate or noise gate. Noise gate is gonna cut some of this, X. But for me, I'm not gonna touch it because we are not like professional singer. Yeah, to be honest, we don't have to cut. If we cut this one, and the more you cut this, you see. So the more you cut it, the sensitive, you see, it's not good for cut the noise gate.
The
You understand
noise-
what?
I get
So
it,
the
yeah.
noise gate means that you set a
Distance.
level of volume. If the volume lower than that, they will
It
cut.
won't pick it up, yeah.
Okay.
I know what it
So
is.
if
I
the volume is louder than that, it will show up. But if it's so the noise gate, sometimes we set up a little bit, so it will eliminate all the noise, unwanted noise.
The noise.
The unwanted noise is maybe from the mic or from something, but we don't want to raise up too much. That affect our voice because it will can cut our voice too if we raise too much. Yeah.
It's not nature anymore. So better you don't touch the
The
gate.
breathing sounds and stuff would be cut out.
Yeah,
but
better don't touch the gate.
It's
usually
basically
we don't sing at like
it kind of echoes that
steady
it
volume,
cancels
so
echo
don't go too
like
low.
echoes.
Like it's just
Okay.
background
Especially for
noise.
people who sing with head voice. it's
Okay.
not-
Let me tell you, when you use the condenser microphone,
Just imagine
The
Discord
gate-
suppression.
it's more important. But no condenser microphone, because the condenser microphone is very sensitive. It's gonna hit very strong and very far. It's very wide. So that's why you need to avoid this one. Don't have to touch this. Okay. So that is this part, the first area. Any question? No, right? Go to the second one. Equalizer.
This is complicated.
Okay, equalizer is that is the most important for you to adjust, the strength of the voice, the sound, the body of the sound, and độ sáng tối là gì?
The lightness or-
The lightness and the dark, right? So the light and the dark of the sound. Okay, so let's come here. We see the low cut at the first area, right? So when you low cut, that means you cut the low, part of the low already. So now we go to another low. This low is also low, but we call like mid low. Mid low or also low, but it's not low like this one. So this one is gonna help you to build up the let's say the character of the voice. Like just now, some of the girl when they sing very thin. Nó rất là mỏng á. It's very thin đúng không? Yeah, very not soft. Nói chung cái giọng.
It's like strainy.
Yeah, strainy or skinny. Okay, never mind. So we need to raise this one up a little bit. It's not much. And this one we got the 3 control. This one is the
Width.
the width, frequency. Thank you. I need that. There's the gain.
Yep.
So the gain is raised up and down.
Essentially the volume.
and this one is gonna move for you to the right position that you want to adjust. And this one, the frequency, and this the width F, for you to open it wide or the compressors. So you will see the difference. Okay, let me try this one. So if I bring it up, you will see this one. Hello, 1, 2, 3. The more you open, you turn it wider, right? So it's gonna make the sound very it get a lot of feedback. So better don't make it too wide and bring it down a little bit. Just support the vocal. Okay, so that is the thing. But normally I'm not gonna do anything with the low. The mid, you press here. I'm also do nothing with the mid, because with this equalizer, it's flat. That is for safe. Go up to the high mid. This one you start to adjust for the light